Do you have a mentor? If you don't, after this video, you may decide that it's a good idea to get one. You have a story to tell, but you don't know where to start. Let me show you how to free your story. I teach you how to write and how to dig deep in your soul to release your story and make a difference in the world. Welcome to the Julia Amante channel. If we're just meeting, I am Julia Amante. I'm a women's fiction author, and today I want to talk about the mentor-mentee relationship. So the mentee could be called a disciple or the apprentice, whatever you want. But it's the person who benefits from the teachings of the mentor. So if you're familiar with the hero's journey and with Christopher Vogler's The Writer's Journey, he has a whole, Christopher Vogler has a whole chapter on the mentor and the role of the mentor in the hero's journey. So the hero's journey is, the hero starts off, he doesn't really want to go on an adventure, he's living his happy life, and all of a sudden there's something that happens that sends him on an adventure. And during this adventure, he typically meets with a mentor, somebody that's going to help him. In fact, Chris Vogler says that let's see if I can find this. I wrote it down. That the mentor provides the hero with protection, guidance, teachings, tests, training, and magical gifts. So isn't that great? I want a mentor, don't you? So if a character has a mentor, right? If the character has this person that helps them through the journey, then as writers, we should also. Why not, right? We should have mentors. Now, the mentor doesn't necessarily have to be another writer. It's nice if that mentor is another writer, but we can find mentors in different areas of life as long as it helps us to become better writers. So if I look at my life, other mentors, some were writers, but a lot of them are people I didn't even meet, but I went to see, but didn't, talk to. They weren't like face to face, but they provided me with other tools, right? Other gifts that I could use that helped me to become a better writer. So better time management skills, better health skills, so how to eat better so that I have more energy to work all day and also write half the night, right? So that helped me. Those mentors helped me to become a better person, to be able to become a better writer, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be a writer, but again, if it can be, and it's nice if we can find a mentor in our field so that we can move forward and faster and not have to make a lot of the mistakes that we tend to make when we're just starting out. So what are some of the things that a mentor can do? Like, why do you want to have that? So I'm going to talk about 5 things that the mentor can do for the mentee, right? Or the apprentice, what should we call them? The disciple, I don't know. There's a lot of names out there. The protege, maybe. Okay, so the first thing is that the mentor can help to shape the protege. All right. So the person, when they're just starting out, you're very childlike in a way, right? Doesn't matter how old you are, but when you're just starting something, you don't really know what way to go. You don't even know really that much about yourself. So as a beginning writer, you don't really know what your style is. You don't really know what your voice is. You don't really know what what genre works best for you. Like, you may be interested in many genres. You might love romance. You might love suspense. You might love, Westerns. I don't know. You might love all kinds of things, because as a reader, we tend to like a lot of things. But as a writer, what works best for you? What's going to be your strength? Where is your strength going to lie? And a lot of times, we don't know that, right? We don't know that as a writer. And so what happens is that a mentor will be able to see that. So you can see sometimes in other people their strengths before they can see it in themselves. So they help to shape the writer themselves. They help to create or allow the writer to expand their creativity by saying, don't go in that direction, or maybe not even don't, but try this direction instead. I see your strengths here. I see that you do this well, and help the writer kind of steer them towards what's best for them. And then they can continue to develop their strengths in that genre, in that area. So it helps to, the mentor is kind of shaping what the eventual, who this writer will become in the future. So the second reason that you should look for a mentor is because the mentor really wants to pass down what they know. Okay, so one of the reasons we love movies where we have a mentor, so as Chris Vogler says, right, we have that chapter with the mentor, and the reason that writers put those mentors into stories is because, and a lot of times these mentors are reluctant, okay, but we put them in there because we know that this mentor needs to release that knowledge that they have. Okay, so Star Wars, right? Yoda, he doesn't really want to do this, but he knows that he has all this information he needs to pass down. Whether he knows it or not, he needs to pass this down to Luke. Think of like the Karate Kid, right? Mr. Miyagi, he did not want to train this kid. He didn't want to get involved at all, but he ends up getting involved, and he realizes that this kid needs him, and he has somebody to pass down what he's learned over his years, and so the mentor really wants to do this, right? So knowing that there are people out there that may not have the opportunity, may not even know that they want to be a mentor, it's our job, it's your job, right, to go and find them and say, I need to know this, that and I need to, and it makes the mentor feel good and useful to be able to provide this information or provide this knowledge or this training to somebody who's going to make good use of it. So the mentor unconsciously knows that there are things that we need to pass down to the next generation, right? So if society is going to keep going, and we as an older person or whatever have learned certain things, it's something, it's kind of our duty to society to pass this down so that it continues with the next generation and the next group, right? And so this happens in every profession, right? It happens with everyone, where as somebody is retiring or they're leaving something, they want to pass this down to somebody else. So going out and getting these secrets from the mentor is something that is good for us, and it's good for the mentor. So it's another reason why you want to do this. You want to have a mentor. Now, there are people that are super busy, right? They're still doing what they're doing, and they may not have time right now, but they may have written a book that you can look and say, okay, wow, okay, I'm going to learn from this mentor. I'm going to read this mentor's book. This mentor is somebody that I either can't access, right? I can't access in person, or I can't afford to take a course or to go to a conference or do something with this person, but I can find videos online. I can read books, and I can get the information that I need in that way. Okay, so there are different ways to absorb this information from a mentor that isn't available to you, to access face-to-face, person-to-person. They can't actually personally train you, but that doesn't mean that you should say, no, I can't use this mentor, because you still can. Okay, another great thing that the mentor will do is be that sounding board for you. So sometimes you may feel like there's nobody really to talk to, nobody that's going to listen to me. So a mentor who is there for you can be that sounding board where you can say, I have this idea for a story. I have this plan, or this is what I want to do. I'm not sure if it's going to work. I'm not sure if I'm planning it correctly. I don't know if I plotted this story right. So having somebody to listen to, or it can even be not specific to a story. It can just be like, I really, I have so much going on in my life, and I just feel like I'm never going to be able to write this story. And you need that, somebody just to listen and encourage you. Okay, so that could be something else that the mentor is doing. They're that sounding board. There's somebody to listen to you and give you a little bit of encouragement to continue with what you want to do. Okay, another great thing about mentors is if they've been in their field for a long time, if they've been a writer, if they've been an agent, if they've been in the publishing field, then they probably have connections, right? And that's helpful because they can connect you with people that can help you, right? Can help you move forward with your goals and your dreams. And or another thing too is that the mentor might still be in the field, might still be writing their own books, and you might be willing to partner with you. Who does this? Patterson does this, right? Where he has taken on writers that these writers are writing the stories. James Patterson will outline it. He creates the whole outline for the story and then just hands the story to the writers, and the writers write it. Not that that's something that you want to do. You might have your own stories that you want, but what I'm saying is sometimes you can partner with them. They have the connections to help you move forward. So if you've been a writer, a James Patterson writer, and eventually you don't want to be anymore and you want to write your own books, it's great on your resume, right? I actually wrote this book and this book and this book and this book for Patterson. So, so you have those writing credits, even if it's his name on the book. But now he puts both names. He puts his name and the writer's name. So it's a great thing, right? So sometimes those connections or just being able to partner with your mentor helps you move faster towards your goals, so that you're not, you can learn from the person and you can move faster towards your writing goals. And lastly, what we mostly think of mentors is that they're going to keep us accountable. So they're going to be there and say, okay, did you do this? Did you accomplish this? Did you write this chapter? And when we don't have anybody, when we don't have an editor, when we don't have a deadline, having somebody else to be accountable to is a good idea, because again, especially if we're paying someone. So if we're saying, okay, I'm going to pay this mentor to help me move forward with my book. And the mentor says, okay, well, we're going to have this 30-minute session. We're going to have this hour session, and you talk about it and you plan for your, what you're going to be doing in this chapter, how you're going to be moving forward. And we're going to have a call again next month or next week or whatever. And that time comes and you haven't done what you need to do. First of all, it's going to kill you, right? It's like, oh my God, I just wasted, all this time. I wasted this money and I'm not doing it. So I'm either not going to do this at all, or I'm going to do it. And most people, they're going to do it because that's why they're there. That's why they want the coach or the mentor. I tend to not like the name coach, but the guide or the mentor who's helping you push you forward. And the reason I don't like it is I think of coaches sometimes as being there to yell at you or to, push, really kind of like aggressively push you, and I like mentors better because that's the opposite. I think the mentor is there more to inspire you to get what you want to do done. They may be pushing you a little bit, and during this time of keeping you accountable, this maybe more of the coach, right, and less of the inspiration. But they're there, right, to say, well, did you do this? And why didn't you do this? And what's holding you back? And yes, sometimes it can be life, but it can't be life every single week. It can't be life getting in the way every month, or the book isn't going to get done. So how serious are you about getting this done? So the coach, the mentor is there to do that for you, to keep you accountable. So you have somebody that's kind of cheering for you, but also saying, hey, come on, we need to move forward, right? Let's get this done. What can we move around your schedule? What can we do so that you can get this done? And it's wonderful to have that. It's definitely something that's, it's needed sometimes, because sometimes you don't have that internal drive. You do have that, but they're there to motivate you even more, to say, remember why you wanted to do this. Remember what this is, this is important to you. And it helps. It definitely helps to have somebody there doing that for us. So the reason that you want to have a mentor are those 5 reasons. It's just basically a person that's going to be there to point you in the right direction and motivate you to get that book written, and to get your goals done, right? So a lot of times we have these goals, but if we don't have somebody there to kind of be our cheerleader, to be our guide, to be the person that says, you can do this, then it's harder to do. So I think everybody should have a mentor, and it doesn't have to be, again, a person, though that's very, very nice and helpful, but it can be various other things. You can be books, it can be videos, it can be courses, it can be all kinds of things where you're saying, okay, I really love this person. I love the way that this person is a planner and plans things, and I want to learn from this person. I want this person to be a mentor to help me organize my life. So if I have my life more organized, I can get more done and I can get more written. I really like how this person does, the writing. And so I really want this person to be kind of my writing coach. And I really, and all this stuff, just like any other area of your life where you might have an exercise coach, or you might have something else. I think a mentor is very good for writers, and I do recommend that you get one. All right, so I hope that this has been helpful and that it's inspired you to kind of think about it, like who are your mentors and how can I get one if I don't have one, right? So if you like this, please hit the like button and share this with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that already so you can get the notifications when I do my videos. See you again next week.